Today I'm going to show you how to make this boho style rainbow tumbler using a template and double-sided sticky paper. And I'm going to do this without using epoxy. I'm going to walk you through all of the steps, and I'm going to link everything that you need in the description box below. You always want to start with a prepped and base coated tumbler. I prepped and used a flippin' awesome paint called in rosy beige from the CrystaLac Company to base coat my tumbler. And I decided for this, I'm going to use an epoxy additive. It's called Souls. It's a 0.004 size, so it's basically like a powder, and I'm going to mix it in to my grand finale. You can see my face in the corner because this originally was a live stream. So if you want to see this in real time and talk through all the reasons why you might want to mix your glitter in, make sure you go watch that live stream. I am just spreading this all over my tumbler, and you do kind of have to be careful because it can be streaky and it could take a little bit of practice, but doing it this way, and especially using that extra fine additive glitter, it will only take a couple of coats on the top of this to get a smooth surface. So that's why I did it, and it gives a really pretty shimmer look, and over this rosy beige is just like a really pretty neutral shimmery tumbler. So you're going to go through the process of getting your cup fully smooth, and then you're going to prep and get your template ready. I am using double-sided sticky sheets from Express It. I have a discount code I will link underneath this video in the description, and you're going to cut it with like the word side up. So you need to prep your template. I bought the template from Brave Danger Designs and made it the right size for my tumbler, and I ended up taking away 2 of the curves just because it's only a 20-ounce tumbler, and I don't know, it just felt better to me to have a less of that sort of curvy design and use only 4 colors. So I sent this through to my silhouette with blade 3 force 10. Definitely do a dust cut and figure it out, but you're going to cut it and then you're going to apply the template. So once I got my cut settings and this cut out, I cut around the design because I wasn't going to put other glitter on it. I was only glittering that rainbow part. Sometimes on these, you won't have to actually do this because you're going to put glitter on those kind of negative spaces. But for this, I just cut around that curve, that rainbow, so I could get this applied to my tumbler. You just want to do the best you can to keep your line straight because you know, you don't want it to look all weird once you get your glitter on it, because if it's not like a good edge, that's where the glitter is going to go. So I got this ready, and to figure out where I wanted this on my tumbler, I took some painter's tape and set it in place just to get it kind of where I needed it to be. And then I am going to peel off the back. Remember, you just want to peel off the white part. The sticky glue and the side with the words should still be attached together. And then I ended up having to take the tape all the way off to get this on the tumbler. And you have to be careful because it's really not repositionable. So that's why you'll see me really just taking care of getting these straight and getting these pushed down so there's no bubbles or weird lumps or anything like that. So just take your time and get this on securely. And you'll see I actually cut mine too deep, which isn't ideal. You can see that it's like fully like coming apart. That's not what you want, but it happens sometimes. So you'll see me kind of individually placing these 4 little lines. But in an ideal world, when you cut it, they'll all be attached. So you can just all put it down all at once. But you're just going to make sure it is fully on. I took my squeegee tool just to make sure that there were no air bubbles or pockets or anything like that. And then you can go in with each of your glitters. I will link all of these glitter colors underneath this video, but I chose 4 kind of neutral, kind of retro colors that I thought looked good together, and I just did them one at a time. So I'm going to show you the glittering process right here. And some people will glitter their template before they put it on their tumbler, but I did not. I put my template on first, and I went in with my darkest color. This is called Chestnut. And what you're going to do is you're going to cover the spots where the sticky tape, right, the glue, the adhesive is showing. And you're going to take your finger and gently rub it into the adhesive. You can use light pressure. It doesn't need to be like really, really hard, but I actually go through, rub it, and then I will put on a second coat of glitter just to make sure I get the spots where I missed. It's a lot easier to do this at this stage of the glittering process versus later after you have all of your glitter applied. It can be done, but it's just a lot easier if you kind of do your second coat right now. And then because you're going to go in a minute with your second color or your next color, you really want to make sure all of this glitter is completely removed from your tumbler, because if there's any adhesive exposed, this will stick to it. So go in with a paintbrush. It's just a random paintbrush, and I'm just going to dry brush and get all of this first color off of my cup. And because you really don't want, and it depends on the colors that you use, but you really likely don't want them to combine. So then you're just going to continue this process for the remaining colors that you have and do the exact same thing. I put on one coat, I rub it, and then I do a second coat, and then I'm going to dry brush before I move into my next colors. What I love about this design is that there are endless possibilities of color combinations. You could do a pastel, you could do a neon, like there's so many amazing options. This glitter color is called Biscotti, and these are just neutrals. These are actually fall colors. I've made several fall themed tumblers with these exact colors. So, you know, I love being able to use my glitter on multiple different projects, multiple different themes. That's the best way to do it. And then after you go in with your last color, something I want to mention is that this last color is actually an extra fine. So this is like the 0.008 size, where the other three were the larger kind of fine cut of like the 0.015. I prefer using the extra fine. It works a little bit better. It covers a little bit better. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing your glitters. The extra fine colors are definitely easier and will get smoother faster. So once you get your glitter on and your tumbler fully covered, make sure you get rid of all of the excess glitter, because we're going to go in and seal it in place and get this baby smooth. So then we're going to go in and seal our glitter and flatten our glitter and finish up this tumbler, honestly. So I'm using the glitter glue from the CrystaLac Company, and I'm going to brush it over my tumbler. And I'm actually going to brush it over the entire tumbler. And they really don't bleed together because it is fully stuck down with your double-sided tape. You could, if you prefer, go in with like a clear spray paint or go color by color. But I find that it's totally fine just to go in with a glitter glue, letting each coat dry for 2 hours. I'm going to roll it in parchment paper, use my brayer roller just to really get it flat, even though it is pretty flat to begin with. I ended up doing a second coat, and the reason I like doing a second coat is it's just going to take me less coats of Grand Finale in the end, and it's going to get smoother faster because I'm doing my glitter glue over the entire tumbler. So the whole process just comes together. So I seal it twice, flatten it twice, and I'm going to go in with my Grand Finale. Again, this is what I use for an epoxy-free alternative. I have so many tutorials if you need help with the basics, and I have classes as well that you can find on my website. But I'm going in with a few coats of Grand Finale. I think I did 3, maybe 4 coats of Grand Finale, and letting each coat dry for 2 hours. Then it's time to sand, and I'm just sanding over the glitter. I'm using a 400 grit sanding pad, and I'm paying attention to the edges where the glitter meets the paint, just because I really want those to smooth out and flatten out as quickly as possible. So go through and sand with your 400 grit sandpaper, and you can clean it off really good. You don't want any dust. I'm using the surface conditioner, but a damp paper towel with a little bit of water works great as well. You just need to get all of the sanding dust off. And after you sand, you're going to go in with about 3 more coats of Grand Finale. I thought it was honestly pretty good. I probably could have stopped at this point, but remember, there's no rule of how long, how many coats you need and all of. So I ended up doing a second sand over that glitter and finishing up with an additional 3 coats of Grand Finale. I have so many resources in the description, classes, other tutorials that you can watch if you need help with making tumblers. I absolutely love the design because there's endless possibilities, and it is honestly so simple, and I just love simple, effective tumblers. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'm going to put a tutorial on how to make your own double-sided template with sticky sheets up on your screen right now.